Sometimes, the quiet in the house feels heavier than ever before. The ticking clock, the empty chair, the untouched coffee mug. They all sit there silently, reminding you that life has changed. And maybe, somewhere deep down you wonder, is this it? Is this what's left? But what if this isn't the end of your story? What if this moment right now is the beginning of your second chapter? Because it is. You've already walked through so much life, raising children, working tirelessly, giving love, energy, and effort to everyone who needed you. And now, maybe the house is quiet. The kids are busy living their own lives. Some of the faces that used to greet you every morning are no longer here. And the days that once felt full now feel long. The silence after dinner, the empty spaces in your mind where laughter used to live. They're all pieces of a life that used to be louder. Sometimes it feels like the world just kept moving forward while you stood still. You look at old photos, the family gatherings, holidays, moments that came and went, and it feels like another lifetime. You might ask yourself, who am I now? What's my role in this new life when the days feel quieter and the nights even quieter? That question, who am I now, is something many people ask after 60, 70, even 80. It's not weakness. It's simply the heart trying to find new meaning in a world that has changed. You see, so much of life has been about giving to family, to career, to others. You've spent decades being someone's parent, someone's partner, someone's worker, provider, or friend. And now when those roles fade, you might feel like a piece of yourself fades too. But what you are experiencing isn't the end of your purpose. It's a transition, a transformation, a gentle invitation to rediscover you. Loneliness can creep in quietly, can't it? You may wake up and realize there's no one to make breakfast for anymore. The chair across the table is empty. The television hums, but the silence behind it feels louder. Maybe the phone doesn't ring as it used to, or maybe the people you loved most have their own families now, and though they love you dearly, they're busy living their next chapters too. That's when loneliness hits hardest. Not because you don't have people who care, but because things just aren't the same. The rhythm of your days has changed. The noise is gone. The house feels bigger. And your heart aches to fill that space with something again, connection, purpose, warmth. But let with this truth sink in. Loneliness doesn't mean you've been forgotten. It simply means your heart still remembers what love feels like. That longing you feel is proof that your heart still beats with tenderness, still holds space for connection, still wants to give. It means you are alive and that love is still within you. You are not invisible. You are not irrelevant. You are not finished. There's something many don't talk about. After retirement or after loss, our sense of identity changes. Your mind, your body, even your routines, all of it goes through adjustment. The mornings that used to be full of responsibility now come with open space. That open space can feel liberating, or it can feel like a void. It's okay if it feels empty. It's okay if it confuses you. Because what you're feeling is simply your mind searching for a new kind of rhythm, one that serves you this time. For years, you lived for others. Now it's time to start living for yourself, gently, gradually, tenderly. Not by forgetting your past, but by carrying it with you into something new. Take a slow breath. Let yourself feel where you are right now. You're not behind. You are exactly where you're meant to be, even if you don't see the full picture yet. You are not the only one walking this road. Many before you have stood in this same quiet, feeling lost and unsure, wondering how to begin again. And they found their way one small step at a time. You will too. It might start with something simple, a short walk in the morning, a chat with a neighbor, a hobby you once loved returning to your hands. Healing doesn't happen in big leaps. It begins in quiet moments when you choose to keep going. Maybe the first step isn't changing your life. Maybe it's just getting out of bed, opening the curtains and letting the sunlight in. Maybe it's sitting quietly with a cup of tea and allowing yourself to remember someone you loved, not with pain, but with gratitude. And if you've lost someone recently, your grief is not something to rush through. It deserves time. You don't need to move on. You just need to move forward, carrying their love with you. The people we love never leave us. They live in every kindness we offer, every wisdom we share, every heartbeat that still carries memory. One day, slowly, the ache becomes a companion rather than a wound, and in that space, new life starts to grow. Purpose is something people believe belongs to the young, to those who are building, planning, dreaming. But the truth is, purpose belongs to anyone who wakes up with a heart that still beats. Your purpose doesn't have to look grand or loud. It can be simple. Purpose might mean tending to a garden, cooking a meal, teaching a grandchild something you once mastered, writing down stories from your youth. Purpose might mean smiling at someone who needs it more than you know. There's an old woman named Ellen I once heard about. When her husband passed away after 50 years of marriage, she couldn't bear to enter their kitchen for months. It was filled with too many memories. His laughter, that old radio playing, morning coffees they shared. One day she found herself standing in front of the counter, staring at his favorite recipe book. Something inside her whispered, "Just bake." She made a batch of cookies, small, uneven, imperfect. That smell filled her house again, warm, sweet, familiar. She shared the cookies with her neighbors, and soon it became a weekly thing. Every Friday, cookies and conversations. Slowly, Ellen began to heal. She had found a new rhythm, gentler, quieter, but filled with connection again. Healing often begins with one small act of courage. Yours could be as small as saying hello to someone new, or taking out your paintbrush, or going for that walk even when you don't feel like it. Start small. That's enough. Life will meet you halfway. Maybe you've retired recently and your days feel too still. For so long, your life was built around work, deadlines, meetings, schedules. People needed you. You were useful. And now mornings stretch on. No one's asking anything of you anymore. It can feel unsettling, even empty. But retirement is not the end of usefulness. It's a new form of freedom. You finally get to shape your days the way you want to. You have time for reflection, for peace, for rediscovering what brings you joy. You don't need to fill every moment with activity. Just being, truly being, is enough. Sit with your coffee, feel the steam, watch the morning light paint your room. That quiet is not emptiness. It's peace waiting to be noticed. What if you shift it from "what should I do today" to "what do I want to feel today"? Maybe peace, maybe curiosity, maybe gratitude. Then let your day form from that place. You are not running out of time. You are entering a different kind of time, where moments stretch deeper, conversations mean more, and beauty hides in small corners you used to rush past. There's still so much life for you to live, new connections to make, new things to create, new love to receive. Life doesn't end after 60. It softens, it deepens, it ripens into something wiser. And you, dear listener, are part of that ripening. You carry stories, lessons, laughter, grief, all the textures of a beautifully lived life. You are the living memory of what love, resilience, and kindness look like. When you start feeling purposeless, remind yourself, your existence alone is a contribution. Your smile, your memories, your words, they are gifts to this world. You matter more than you know. The best thing you can do now is start caring for your emotional garden again. Imagine your mind and heart as a small patch of soil. Each thought, each routine, each act of kindness is a seed. If you plant gratitude, kindness, and curiosity, the garden inside you will slowly begin to bloom again. Each morning, thank yourself simply for being here. At noon, take one deep, peaceful breath, and before bed, say these words softly. Today, I mattered. Because you did. Let your days become gentle rituals of self-honoring. Eat slowly. Watch old movies that make you smile. Read books that comfort your heart. Let the people who love you. And when loneliness whispers that you've been forgotten, remind yourself that even the quietest hearts beat with meaning. You are not forgotten. You are still seen, still loved, still here. There's a man named Henry who once lost his wife after 50 years of marriage. For a whole season, he couldn't touch their garden. It was hers. Everything reminded him of her hands. But one spring, a single flower bloomed from the soil she had planted. Henry sat there staring at it for a long time. The next morning, he decided to water it. Then the next day, he planted a new one. Soon that garden came alive again. Neighbors began to visit, children stopped by. Henry taught them how to plant seeds. By autumn, the garden had become a gathering place. And one day, someone asked Henry why he kept doing it. He smiled and said, "Because love never ends. It just finds new roots." Maybe that's the truest lesson of all. Love never ends. It just changes shape. And even though life looks different now than it once did, the people, the rhythm, the noise, what's left is still love. Your wisdom, your light. You are still a part of life's great story. You are still needed here, right now, in this world that feels too fast and too cold sometimes. Your softness is your strength. Your patience is your gift. Your presence is a blessing to everyone who crosses your path. When you feel like nothing you do matters anymore, remember this. Just by waking up today, you've added warmth to this world. Just by listening, you've shared energy that touches others. Every act of kindness you give, even a smile, travels farther than you imagine. You still have chapters to write, maybe not in the way you used to, but in a way that reflects who you are now. Wiser, calmer, more compassionate, more whole. Maybe this is the chapter where you stop waiting for others to fill your loneliness and start filling it with your own love. Maybe it's where you begin to see beauty again, not in what's gone, but in what remains. After all, the sunrise doesn't lose meaning just because it repeats every day. Its beauty is in its constancy, and so is yours. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Feel your chest rise and fall. You made it through so many seasons that once felt impossible. You're still standing. You're still becoming. And you are not alone.
Every scar on your soul, every wrinkle on your skin, every story in your heart, they are proof that you've lived, proof that you gave love. And that love, even now, is still returning to you in new ways. This is your second chapter, one not defined by what you've lost, but by what you still hold, defined not by time, but by tenderness. So today, let this be your quiet promise to give yourself gentleness, to open the window, to feel the sunlight, and to believe, truly believe, that there's more ahead. You are still learning, still giving, still here. You are the wisdom, the warmth, the peace this world still needs. Your story isn't over. In fact, it's just beginning again. Your second chapter starts here, right now. And you are ready for it.